All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of HSM Talks, and I hope you are doing safe and sound in respective cities wherever you are. I am talking to you from the Union Territory of Chandigarh, and since the time I'm here, I am amazed by the fact that the way the city has been developed. It's my third or the fourth visit in possibly equal number of months. And every time I come here, there are two things which definitely happen. One, I get amazed, and second, I get chalaned because of whatever reason, and I do not know. But eventually, I end up paying the chalan. Um, in our series of bringing various institutions, I'm glad to tell you that today I have two very good professionals from a pretty well known university in Canada, and a university which is based in downtown Toronto, as my friend would come and definitely mention. And what better, because when you go to a different country, at least even if you take a direct flight from India to Canada, it'll be about 17 hours. And if after 17 hours you get to enter downtown Toronto straight away, you have possibly arrived. We're talking about the university which has students from 146 countries. 87% of their students get employed within 6 months of graduation. 95% of their programs are designed with experiential and hands on learning. And they offer 60 plus undergrad programs uh, across the board. And it makes me really proud that time and again I'm able to bring them and different professionals from this particular university to talk to you. I will be joined by a very good friend of mine, Shreya Podar. She is the senior regional recruitment representative with the Ryerson University, coming on your screens right now, and that's Shreya. And I am also joined in with Salva Sayed, Recruitment and International Engagement Officer with Ryerson University, Canada. Now, Shreya is kind of a family member. She has been here, so won't take much time in introducing her. But Salva is coming for the first time, and she carries with her over 15 years of experience in the post-secondary sector. Her main passion is ensuring students to have the best possible experience. Uh, she has a bachelor's in health sciences from Western University, and she even completed her MBA from Ryerson. So, who better than her to give us some insight into the student experience at Ryerson? She has been with Ryerson for over 10 years and currently supports undergraduate program initiatives and international partnerships for the Faculty of Sciences. Okay, let me bring her onto the screen. There you go. How are you guys, both of you?
All good. Thanks a lot for having us.
Yes, doing well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya. Let me just quickly see if all three. Okay, now we are pretty better. Okay, now let me understand. You guys, as a university, received something called Eagle Staff Spiritual Honor. Now, Eagle is something which I understand. Staff is something that I understand. What is Eagle Staff Honor? Can one of you tell us what is it all about?
Do you want to go ahead?
Yes, so we have a lot of ties within our Indigenous community. The Eagle staff is something that's usually actually it is a physical object. It is brought on usually showcased for convocation. And it's essentially something that we have to show our ties to the Indigenous community and the importance that they play within the university.
Okay, awesome. And it is actually a pretty reputed honor that you have received. How does it make you feel as a part of the university, receiving the Eagle Staff Spiritual Honor?
It's yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Shreya, if you want to answer.
Like she said, because as a university, we do make sure that the Indigenous community is a very, very big part of everything we do at the university, and we are very inclusive of everything. So I think being honored by them for it, I think it is something we definitely take a lot of pride in. And yeah, that is a big part of Ryerson. When you're joining Ryerson, when you read our website, when you talk to our students, we actually have a week during orientation week, especially for celebrating that. So I think it is great that we feel definitely honored to have received it.
Okay. Now, Ryerson is known for, uh, I mean, your curriculum is rooted with innovation. It's very career focused, career driven. It is very contemporary in nature, and I'm absolutely fascinated. Even when I'm traveling and doing my sessions, I keep on talking about your aeronautical engineering program. I do not know why, but I'm absolutely fascinated by the facts that Shreya tells me. Having said that, there is this surge in interest of students looking towards Canada as a destination, and we are seeing that with every possible live. We are seeing that with every possible event, that the number of students opting towards Canada is going up vis-a-vis other countries. How does the faculty at Ryerson help students in building successful careers? So there is one part where your curriculum is very career focused, but let's accept accept the fact that, I mean, I have studied abroad, so I can tell you that faculty recommendations really can make or break your entry into the corporate world. It really plays a lot of importance. How does faculty at Ryerson help students in building a successful career, or in starting a successful career?
Sure. I can speak certainly for the Faculty of Science. So we have 7 different programs across our faculty, and each and every single one of those programs have the option for co-op as well. And co-op is available for international students to participate in. If students want to get direct work experience, I always recommend studying in our co-op program. Students will graduate with up to 16 months of paid work experience. Upon graduation, they already have 16 months of work experience, which is going to put them ahead of someone who might have no work experience. In addition, our Career and Co-op Center is very, very involved. We have a faculty labor model. So what that means is that every faculty has dedicated career and co-op staff that students can access. So they put on a variety of events throughout the year, everything from actually bringing in employers, or workshops like how to write your CV or resume, interview skills, all of those types of things. In addition, even once a student graduates, you still have access to the Career and Co-op Center for up to 5 years after graduation. That's something that's fairly unique to Ryerson. So, if even you've gotten your first job, but you're looking to make your next move, as long as it's within 5 years of your graduation date, you can still access all of those career services. So there's lots of ways to get that experience that would help you further your career.
Wonderful. Now, I, as a career counselor, I keep on blabbering and keep on shouting on the top of my voice every now and then that parents, please allow your children to participate in as many extracurriculars as possible, not only to get them into good university like yours, but also to fetch them some scholarships. And if not that, at least to build the character of an individual. Extracurricular activities builds a lot of character, leadership skills, soft skills, critical thinking, high order thinking skills, you name it. Uh, so extracurricular activities are invariably, according to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, are built outside the classroom, and which means that when you are done with your studies, do you have enough engagement in the campus where you can implement or practice what you have studied in your academics? Do you think that students should equally focus on extracurricular activities as well as academics, both for admissions into Ryerson and for whatever scholarships you offer, but also as a part of your core curriculum? Because now I realize that almost close to 90% of your programs are very heavy on experiential learning, which would include certain extracurriculars or internships or co-ops or hands-on experience. What is your take, both of you, about the focus that one should give on extracurriculars versus academics?
Okay, so I'll get started. Just generally speaking, in terms of the application process, extracurriculars are good. We do have a supplementary form where you can let us know. But for the core of the application, it's actually just your academics that will play an important role for most Canadian universities when you're applying. And that is the same for the scholarships also. They are merit based. But on campus, we have more than 200 clubs that are there for student organizations, and that could be ethnic based or faculty based, and each faculty has dedicated groups, which I'll let Salva like build on. But the thing is, you need to participate, and if you come up with of an idea of a group that you would want to have and it's not there, you have the liberty to create that group and be the president of that student group that you're creating. So there is a lot of scope within it. And for India, when we specifically see students applying, majority for this faculty is for our computer science or a biomedical science program. So there's actually a game development group that is there where they every week they will meet, and then they'll have various things in terms of either coding or softwares that they're working on and building new things. So I'm going to hand it over to Salva to talk a little bit more about the student specific groups for the Faculty of Science.
Yeah, every faculty does have student-specific groups, and they can be academic focused. So each program has a course union, for example. So if students still want to be involved and meet other students from, whether it be from all over the world, but they want to keep that academic focus, joining a course union is a great idea. We also have student government. So we have the Ryerson Science Society, which is general student government, which looks after all Faculty of Science students. In terms of your earlier question about, do you think it's important for students to be 50-50 in academic extracurricular? I think it's really dependent on the student. I think getting involved in extracurricular activities is absolutely something that is really important, if not for anything, but for personal development, and gaining those extra leadership skills, going out, running to be vice president or president of the club, but also for their own mental health. So also meeting students from a variety of different areas, walks of life, it's really important, and it really solidifies your overall university experience.
So we do have a question from Neeta Jadhav here, approved by my team in the platform here itself. Is there scope in food technology? And now I'm not too sure if food technology comes as a part of your particular faculty, but would you have something to share on the scope of food technology, and do we have a program in food technology at Ryerson?
Not within our faculty. I know the Faculty of Community Services has a nutrition program, which would be sort of involved with that. But if they're looking for like a very specific program in food technology, we don't offer anything like that.
You don't offer anything like that. All right, awesome. Now, coming to the fact that, faculty helps students in building careers, like you said, but they need to be thoroughly engaged with students. Now, gone are those times when you wanted to go to absolutely large classrooms and you're unable to raise your hand and you're unable to ask questions. How do universities like Ryerson ensure that their faculty is continuously engaging with the students?
I always recommend to students, professors all have office hours, and they are very, very approachable. Even if you are in a class of, 400 or 500 students, emailing them to ask them questions, meeting with them during their office hours is really important. In addition, particularly for students in their first year, in the Faculty of Science, we have a peer mentor program. And what that does is it pairs first year students with upper year students in their program. And that helps kind of guide you through the transition from high school to university. And you have an upper year student there to answer all your questions as well. But faculty is absolutely available for you at any time. We encourage you to always reach out to your professors. In addition, there's workshops that are always provided, everything from study skills to how to use our learning management system to how to get involved in research opportunities. So we always try and connect with students that way, but it is also up to the students to make sure they take advantage of those opportunities.
And
Absolutely.
also, and just wanted to add to that as well, like in the past 2 years everything has been online, and the faculty has made a lot of effort to be available across different time zones, so that they have the office hours to be able to accommodate students across all of the different countries that are there, to be able to answer their questions and be available for them. So as a university, and that's something I think all universities in general have made an effort, and that is something that students need to make make a lot of use of. Like when at Ryerson we like to call ourselves as a world of possibilities, and like we spoke about all the extracurriculars and everything, everything is given to you on a platter, but you need to still make the effort to eat it, right? So it is given
Absolutely.
to you.
Absolutely.
So how do you
So
use it is up to the student.
so true, so true. You know what, both of you, recently started India's first ever inter-school high school student club, and it just goes on to show that the amount of focus we as a community, we are a parent community, and the amount of focus we are putting on extracurriculars, because we understand that the differentiator between a successful person in life and a not so successful person in life is the one who has engaged in multiple activities, developed interdisciplinary skill sets, and is able to build leadership, communication, networking skills, along with having global exposure. So our student club, already has a student council of about 60 students from all parts of the country, from the best of the schools, managing a club of almost 1,800 students. And would you believe that in just about 5 weeks' time, 1,800 students have actually become members of India's first ever high school student club called GIDE. Coming back to the next question, what kind of activities does the faculty of sciences, and maybe broadly other faculty as well? I mean, for sciences, maybe you can talk about, and then Shreya can possibly focus on the broader outlook. But what kind of activities faculty of sciences offer for students to look at when they are studying at Ryerson?
I mean, in terms of activities or other opportunities, we have lots of research-based opportunities. So if students are interested in getting involved in research, students are able to do that. It does involve making relationships with some professors to ensure that you are on their radar, so to speak. In addition, we do offer a lot of global learning opportunities as well. We have you know all over the world, students can choose to do a term abroad and study in a different country while still gaining credits for their degree. So that opportunity is also available. And I mentioned co-op already. Lots of extracurricular activities within the faculty, both academic or personality based, totally up to you. In addition, there's our students are very, very involved. So, they're putting on all kinds of different social events. Most of them have been virtual for the last little while, but hopefully when we are able to meet in person again, those will also be in person. So, and everything for more sort of career focused things as well. As I mentioned, job fairs, even summer job fairs that the Career Center puts on as well. So there's lots of opportunity to get involved.
Wonderful, wonderful. At this point in time, there are almost 400 people across various platforms listening to us, 393 to be exact right now. And there is a question that I definitely need to take from one of our viewers on Facebook, Anita Mahapatra. Anita, your question is coming up now, so do not worry. She's asking more of a question towards psychology, Shreya. I know it's a discussion driven around Faculty of Sciences, but if you can take it, she's asking what are the programs available in psychology at bachelor's level at Ryerson, and are there any specializations available in psychology, or is it a generic program? So that's the question coming in from one of our Facebook pages out of 8. If you can answer that, Shreya.
Absolutely. So the first thing, I am a psychology graduate, so I like to speak about psychology just generally. So at Ryerson, we offer a BA psychology program. It does not require math. It is a counseling-based program that you're looking at for 4 years. Whenever you're doing psychology at the UG level, there is not going to be a specialization. You need to learn all the basics first. You will learn all of the therapy models. You will learn all the counseling techniques. In your third and fourth year, you get to kind of pick areas that you're pseudo interested in, and the internships that we offer are either research based, or if you have selected an area that you're interested in, then you can apply to one of the internships that are there in the 7 hospitals that we are around. Your specialization will always be at the master's level, because when suppose you want to practice within any North American city or country, you need to be a licensed psychologist to practice, which means you will have to stick to a therapy model that you're going to choose to counsel by, and an area in which you want to counsel. So I hope that answers your question. The specialization cannot be, you can do a test drive in terms of experimenting between sports psychology, abnormal psychology, criminal psychology. You get to take a flavor of everything to understand where what you're enjoying more, and then decide your area of interest on the basis of that.
And ladies and gentlemen, you know that I have a real fancy for psychology, because according to me, that's one field of study that can be combined with any other subject whatsoever, and you can really look at a lucrative career if you have psychology. So, like Shreya said, specialization may not be possible at the undergrad level, but you do get a flavor of variety of areas. You can then possibly specialize at your masters or later on. Uh, Coming back to okay, before we go back to Salva and talk more about Faculty of Sciences, one last question again, which has been there for long. Sunita Fogart is asking, are what are the courses for undergrad at humanities? Now, I mean, I would possibly simplify, because parents are very naive, and they possibly do not understand that in today's time curriculums cannot be divided into humanities, commerce, and sciences. There can always be overlap. So let's understand, other than sciences, what are the major programs that Ryerson offers, Shreya?
So we have engineering, which we spoke about earlier. So our faculty of engineering is there. There is a faculty of arts, which has all of our humanities programs, so to speak. We have a business school, which is the Ted Rogers School of Management. The creative school, that is one of my favorite in terms of the programs and the uniqueness of the programs that are offered. And I've been seeing a lot of growth in India in terms of the applications, apart from picking the usual that we do. So that is something that I really like. And then there's the Faculty of Community Service, which offers programs like we spoke about: food and nutrition, public health, occupational health and safety. All of those programs are housed within these 6 faculties across the board. Probably when you're looking at Canadian universities, the one thing I'm sure you'll have heard over so many talks from all of us is that please keep in mind your subject prerequisites. They are very, very important when you're applying to Canadian universities in terms of the program you're applying to. And the importance of math, I cannot even begin to harp on how important math is to take, and do not drop it after 10th standard. If you're not sure what you want to do and you might be considering Canada, just take it for 2 more years. You'll be fine. You've done it for 10 years. It's not going to be as bad. So, yeah, that's probably what I would want to end it at.
That's Shreya Purdar getting as candid as possible on a Facebook Live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dad. Uh, so that's Shreya Purdar for you. And while she answered about psychology, the only thing I could hear was that, "Hey Abhishek, I'm inviting you to my wedding party." That was the only thing that I could hear somehow. And thank you, Shreya, for inviting me. If you do not
Well,
invite me, I'm going to post your address to the entire world at large. So you better invite me there. All right. At this point in time, for everybody who is joining late, we are in conversation with two professionals managing recruitment and international admissions for Ryerson University, Canada, Shreya Poddar and Salva Sayed. Salva Sayed, in particular, is representing Faculty of Sciences. And our next question to her is, what sets the faculty at Ryerson University apart, Salva? Every university that comes to my platform, trying to talk to my community, uh, boasts about PhD faculty, boasts about the high credentials of the faculty. What sets the faculty at Ryerson apart?
I mean, certainly, all of those things that you've just mentioned. The university in general is set apart because we're located in the heart of downtown Toronto, and that is where the heart of industry is in a variety of different areas, from business to, the top hospitals, the top research centers. They're all a stone's throw away from campus. So that's something that is really unique to us. Another thing is our faculty is incredibly international. We have professors from all over the world that teach with us. So I think it's really important to get those different perspectives within classes as well. And as Shreya already mentioned, we have students from over 145 different countries. We're an incredibly diverse campus. And I think our programs are also can be very specific and diverse, and mostly it's the experiential learning opportunities. So just we don't want you to just study what you've studied in a classroom. We want you to apply what you've learned in the real world, because that is where you are going to connect all of those things that you learn in the classroom, as well as prepare you for your career.
Absolutely. Experiential learning, internships, co-op, these are those opportunities which make your and my child more employable, ladies and gentlemen. So whenever you are researching about a university in Canada, it's your utmost right to ask them whether the program offers co-op or internships or it doesn't. And you must ask this question to the representative. And I'm sure if you speak to Shreya and Salva, both of them are very candid in answering all my questions, and they would be very happy to answer your questions as well when you reach out to them. Um, for everybody, just a quick announcement here. Yes, you can meet me in the city of Chandigarh day after tomorrow. I'm doing two sessions, 2:30 p.m. IST and 4:30 p.m. IST, live in person at Hotel Mount View. The link to register for my event, which is a pro bono career counseling session, is right there in our Instagram handle. It has been posted on our Facebook groups and pages time and again. So go out there and register. For everybody who's from Punjab and near Chandigarh, I really look forward to catch you over coffee and answer all your questions. Last couple of questions before I allow Salva and Shreya to go. One which is very critical in today's time is the world was forced into the click mode of learning, the online mode of learning. I'm sure Ryerson also provided online classes to its students. What I really want to know is, did the online delivery at Ryerson anyway got affected, or the quality of the delivery anyway got affected? How did faculty manage? What has been an overall experience of a student after 1.5 years of online learning? What are you hearing from your students?
I mean, from students, I work with students very closely. I think at the beginning, because it all happened very quickly, it was kind of everyone was learning as they went. So that was professors and faculty, students, everything. I think now that we've been doing this for a while, we're able to provide some really unique opportunities. So, for example, we actually have an augmented reality platform in the Faculty of Science, which we use for labs. So students can actually have like a 3D version of their lab technician stand up on their desk and actually lead them through labs. We have online versions for students in medical physics, for example, of operating MRI machines and ultrasound machines and things like that. So I think it's kind of enabled us to provide these unique opportunities. I also think that students have enjoyed having their lectures to be online as well. They're able to record sessions and listen to them again, gain sort of more opportunities to really learn the material, and then they also connect with their peers and professors to ask questions and more in smaller sort of learning group formats. So I think it's been sort of unique for students as well, and that they're able to get more out of it.
Wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, let me tell you, When both Shreya and Salva talk about that their campus is locating in downtown Toronto, you need to understand the value of such a proposition. Because if I have to give you one mathematical equation that I've coined over the years of what is the equation of a successful start to a career. So if you have pens and paper, you have to write this down. Successful start for your child's career is equal to a great education at a great university plus a great education at a great university plus the zip code. And it's the zip code that matters, because with the same skill sets, let's say if you want to be a coder in your life, and you have the same skill set, but you start your journey in a tier 2 city in India, you might not find a job. But you start your journey in Bangalore or Gurgaon, you'll definitely start with about a 10 lakh rupee per annum kind of a package. Versus if you start in Silicon Valley, you might just start with $75,000 a year. So the zip code also matters, and that's the importance of having a campus in downtown Toronto. And you cannot take that proposition lightly. And that makes one of the very strongest proposition that you must consider when you're looking at Canadian education. My last question to both of you, please take whoever wants to. Uh, in terms of opportunities, what kind of opportunity does Faculty of Sciences provide outside the class? Any particular examples that you will be able to share? Any particular internships that your students recently or pre-COVID must have got? Are these internships mostly around Toronto, or there are international internships as well? So if you can just throw some light on that front.
Sure. Yeah. Certainly, students who choose to participate in co-op, many of the co-op positions can be all over Canada or international. It's up to students. So, even for example, if you had connections for a co-op position in India, for example, you could go back and you can do your co-op position there. And other experiential learning opportunities I've chatted about, international exchange, I mentioned as well. Also, we have many professors who have labs at top tier facilities. On campus, the Mars laboratory is, for example, is very well known in the city, and our connections with hospitals and other opportunities. We also have a science discovery zone. Which is essentially a startup incubator for students who are interested in starting their own business. And you would be mentored by other sort of businesses who have been successful in those various areas. So if you're interested in starting your own business or even just getting involved with something like that, then I would also encourage you to participate in zone learning. And Shreya, feel free to jump
Yes,
in.
I will. I was going to talk about zone learning, and I think about 2 years ago, we actually had a student from the Faculty of Science and the Faculty of Engineering that collaborated and made a helmet that works on your sensory nerves. And they were bought over by a Sweden based company for $1 million. So they actually graduated being millionaires. So the possibilities and the opportunities are there. And in terms of just generally across the faculty, in terms of when you're looking at opportunities on campus, there is so much more to explore and do. When we talk about experiential learning also, like, one is Faculty of Science, but then we look at other faculties as well, like of the Faculty of Arts. If you take the Environment and Urban Sustainability program, we actually have a half-acre rooftop farm. We are an urban campus, so we try to sustain ourselves and be a part of the ecosystem. So students are learning from those things. If you're a part of the creative school, we actually have the most high end technology. When we talk about experiential learning, we have something called as the robotic arm, which is the most top end kind of machinery that you can use, which you can use for your choreographies, you can use to make your films. There is so much that you can do with that. When we students for the film programs actually get the first week of classes, they actually go down to the streets of downtown Toronto, and we give them a microphone and a camera to go make a movie of how they see Toronto as. The classrooms happen in actually a theater, which in the day is a classroom and in the night turns into a movie theater. So there's a lot more in how we use the city and make it our own. I think that is our USP in terms of being entirely camouflaged with the city, and that's what Ryerson is.
Wow, how we use the city and we make it our own. That's a strong statement to make, Shreya Poddar, but a lovely one. Definitely resonated with me. One last question, Shreya, before I allow you to go. OUAC applications are on, I guess. So I'm sure one can apply to Ryerson through OUAC, being a campus in in Ontario, Toronto. However, when are your direct applications starting? If somebody wants to apply directly and only apply to Ryerson and nowhere else, uh, when are the direct applications opening up?
So the direct applications have opened as well. And when you're doing a direct application, you can actually apply to three programs at Ryerson at the same time. So that is the USP of applying on a direct application. So if you're not sure between the programs, which I usually get is confused between computer engineering and computer science, because in India we use the two programs interchangeably. It is not the same thing. They're two completely different faculties and the programs being offered. So that is the one thing, and you can even pick an undeclared science or an undeclared engineering. So it's a great combination to take if you're not sure and you like both the fields. So then if you're doing a direct application, then that's the USP of it. It's open. If you're looking at OUAC, that has started this week as well. So you just need to add a supplement and you're good to go. We'll reach out to you and then you can upload your documents to send in your application for September 22.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, that's Shreya Poddar and Salva Said from Ryerson University, Canada, one university that you must consider if you are looking at your child studying in Canada. Thank you, Shreya, for joining us on yet another edition of HSM Talks. Thank you so much, Salva Said, for joining us on this edition. And my request to all of you listening to us right now is go ahead and research more about Ryerson. You do not need to believe us. Do your own research, and the best research is when you are able to pop a question directly to Shreya Poddar or Salva Said. Their contact details are available with our team. Their contact details must be available on their website. Just leave them an inquiry, tell them that you heard them on HSM Talks, and I'm sure they'll take good care of your queries. Thank you so much, both of you. Have a great week ahead or weekend ahead, whatever is left out of it. Good night to you, Shreya Poddar, and good morning to you, Salva Said. Look forward to engage with you soon
Thank you
enough.
so much, Abhishek, for having us. And it was great as usual. And see you again soon.
All
See you
right.
again.
Thank you
Bye
for
bye.
having me. Take care,
Bye
everybody.
bye.
Okay, bye bye.